1.
All right, we're going to let's look at actually number 2 to begin with, 2a. If we're going to do this part first, we got to figure out which two perfect squares surround 55. So it'd be square root of 49 and the square root of 64. Okay, that's going to be 7 and 8. So the answer is going to fall in between these two. So your final answer is going to be 7 point something. And we're trying to figure out what it is to the 10th without a calculator. And the first step is you're going to have to create a fraction. The whole idea is to create a fraction and then figure out what that fraction is going to be to the 10th. And that's what you have to solve eventually. So to create your fraction, I have here, the first step is to figure out the difference between the two perfect squares, the difference between 49 and 64, these two on the outside. What's the difference between those two on the outside? It's 15, correct? If we go there, 15. 64 minus 49 is 15, and that's your denominator. Your numerator, you only need to look at the two on the left, the smallest perfect square and the actual question, and you find the difference between those. So the difference between those two is 6, right? The difference would be 6. And then from there, you would actually turn this into a actual division problem, and 15 into 60 actually does work out cleanly. It's 4 times. So your answer for this perfect square is going to be 7.4. Okay? Kind of interesting. All right? Now, let's go, this 274 business. Let's go and cross this one out. I don't need you to worry about that one. I told you to only worry about up to 225. So I'll let you cross that one out. If you watch this video, you're allowed to cross that out. All right? But let's go ahead and do 91. Let's do 91, okay? First step, find the two perfect squares that are closest to it. And I'm good with 9 and 10. So my answer is going to be 9 point something. All right, so 9 point something. And then I'm going to go ahead and figure out my fraction. So when I do that again, I got to find the difference of my two outside perfect squares. The difference is going to be 19. And then what's the difference between the smallest one, those two, and that's 10. Okay, now actually do that division. 10 into 19, 19 into 100. I know 20 times 5 is 100, so I'm going to go 5. I get 95. So 0.5. Okay? Let's go to the bottom. 7. We'll square root of 4 and square root of 9. So it's in between 2 and 3, so it's going to be 2 point something. All right? Now, let's create your fraction. 2 point something. So let's go ahead and think. The difference between these two big ones is going to be 5. Difference between a small perfect square, and the actual question is 3. So 3 over 5, it's going to be 0.6. If you did the math, 3 into 5.6 or 6.6, and that will be your final answer. All right. Hope this video is helpful. I know it looks kind of crazy, but just take it step by step. Again, figure out the denominator by subtracting or finding the difference between the outside perfect squares, and then figure out the numerator by doing the smallest perfect square in the actual question.